Recently, Microsoft launched a brand new Surface laptop. A whole new strategy for Microsoft, who tried hard for many years to compete in the hardware market. Now with their own new approach and well-built product line, they are on the rise. But are they already strong enough to compete with Apple in the high-end market? In this video, I will have an in-depth look at the Microsoft Surface Book Performance Base, their strongest companion so far. This year's Surface Book uses the same 2-in-1 design as the previous model. That means all the important parts of the machine are in the top half, which is called the clipboard. The processor is the unchanged Skylake Core i7. Similarly, the 16GB of RAM and 1TB of hard drive offer plenty of space for almost everything. One of the biggest things for me is the 3:2 aspect ratio display, which makes it look a lot bigger than it actually is. It also got excellent color saturation and contrast, and also displays 100% sRGB, which is great for design work. Also, the included Surface Pen works smoothly. To be honest, in my workflow I haven't used it that often, but as soon as I'm back to university I'm sure I will use it way more often to highlight important phrases or take notes. The new power doesn't show up until you drop the tablet on the new performance dock. Magnets and an electrical charge trigger a mechanism to contract the two halves so tightly that you've never known that they were separate before. Detaching is quite easy and you can do it just by pressing the detach button on the keyboard. The new performance dock is thicker and heavier than last year's dock, but for a good reason. There are bigger batteries in this one, which brings about 18% more capacity than in the launch model. The hinges are stable and the Surface Book feels premium, but also it looks a bit weird because there is a huge gap between the display and the keyboard when it's closed. Further, there's also a new cooling solution with dual fans for more efficient thermal control. The thing that really sets the Surface Book apart from other ultra portables is its optional discrete graphics as soon as the tablet is docked in. The performance base is sporting an upgraded NVIDIA 965M GPU with 2GB of video RAM, which really does offer twice the graphics performance of last year's machine. It's really quite impressive and a huge boost to productivity, considering similar systems with the weaker Iris Pro or Intel HD integrated graphics. The Surface Book automatically uses the GPU when docked and won't let you separate the tablet if you're running a program that needs it. For example, the Adobe Premiere Pro. Microsoft claims 16 hours of use on a charge, but this is roughly depending on what you're doing. If you just watch Netflix with a lower brightness, you can watch for almost forever. But if you're doing video editing on the go, battery drains quite fast. On a typical day, I had to recharge it after about 7 to 9 hours of use, which is really a lot, but it can also go up to 12 to 14 hours depending on what you're doing on the device. For a long battery life, I usually used it without the keyboard backlight and medium brightness. The device is very fast and its performance is great. Almost all applications which I tested did run very smooth. There are only occasionally lags, for example in Adobe Premiere while I was editing my 4K videos. Everything feels fast, snappy and more responsive. The NVIDIA GPU also allows gaming on the go and makes sure that the device has enough graphics processing power. All the games I played did run fine, but if your main intention is gaming, you probably want the Ultrabook with the Pascal GPU. The keyboard is still the same with a soft white backlight and 1.5mm key travel. The keyboard feels very good and is also silent. There are function buttons as well, but some functions are hidden, like the shortcut for the screen brightness. Also the touchpad feels good, but it's way smaller than on the MacBook. But for me this is nothing bad, because I can always use the touchscreen. Connectivity on the updated Surface Book remains unchanged. You get two USB 3.0 ports, a mini display port, a combo headphone mic jack and an SD card reader. It also comes with the same power jack, which also uses a magnetic lock, just like the older MacBooks, and another USB port right next to it. Another cool feature is Windows Hello. It's basically face detection and reads certain points on your face to log you in. It really is a more convenient security measure than a password or fingerprint, though in changing light conditions it sometimes failed. If you detach the Surface tablet from the dock, you can use it in tablet mode. And as every tablet, it also comes with a front and rear camera. I'm usually not a fan of cameras on a tablet, and the rear camera is really not impressive. But the front-facing camera is really good and way better than on the MacBook. I didn't really see myself using the touchscreen in laptop mode that often, but sitting on the couch with a tablet and drawing something with the pen in Sketchbook is really awesome. There are also many different sketching tools included, and the pen is very precise. The tip has over 1000 levels of pressure sensitivity and also an eraser on the opposite side. This also has a button integrated to bring up a quick menu to take a screenshot or write on the screen. All in all, the pen is great for artists and people who work in design or construction, but I for myself didn't use it that often. I watched a lot of Netflix on the Surface Book because it's so convenient to move it around in your flat, and the speakers are top. There are only speakers in the tablet, but the speakers are very loud and clear. Only at maximum volume they rattle a bit. There's only one headphone jack which is placed in the tablet frame. It's kinda weird position, and that is why I mostly used my Sony Bluetooth earphones. The performance when docked is great. I could easily cut my videos in Adobe Premiere with minimal lags during playback and also play my favorite games on mid to high graphics in Full HD. The new performance base with its added graphics and battery makes gaming and editing on the go really great. The fast speeds come from the included NVMe SSD, which is fast, but not the fastest out there. Connectivity was great and I experienced no issues with Bluetooth 4.0 or Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi range was slightly better than on my 13-inch MacBook Pro, to be honest. Even though there are less expensive laptops out there with similar hardware or actually better hardware, the Surface Book is really the one and only Windows laptop I would buy if I need a sub 14-inch mobile editing device. Just keep in mind there's a lot of newer generation hardware coming in 2017 and also maybe the Surface Book 2.0. If you already have a Surface Book or just want to know something specific about it, leave a comment and I will do my best to answer it. Also subscribe so you don't miss any future content, and if you want to be the first watching the next video, please switch on notifications too. Thanks for watching, I'm Flo from Tech Magnet and I will catch you in the next one.